Andy from Manchester band The Transmission. Lovely to meet you, Andy. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you, Anne. Thanks for the video call. It's a pleasure to connect.
Yeah, you're very welcome. So your band is described as punk alternative rock, and you're a mature four-piece combo, and according in your own words, hailing from the dark northern industrial heartland of England. That is Manchester. It's not quite as industrial these days. You might want to change that. But tell me, I've been listening to your album, which you released beginning of this year, Coma, and you cite a lot of different influences, and I can definitely hear them on this album. So do you want to talk us through who your influences are?
My personal influences go way back to the days of the punk era. Joy Division, of course, massive influence on myself. But I was also following, people like your Bowie, Buzzcocks, that type of thing. Yeah. And then along came the Smiths, etc. But I've got a wide range of tastes. One of my guilty pleasures, which I'm okay to mention, is Metallica. I'm a huge Metallica fan.
Yeah, it's kind of different to the other influences. That's one that doesn't pop out so much in your sound. No. In fact, one that you don't list that I do hear a lot of is actually Sisters of Mercy.
Some people have mentioned that. I think it's totally subjective, Anne, as you're aware.
Yeah.
Music is totally subjective. People hearing it what they want to hear. And we've had many comparisons to lots of different artists. And it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, I mean, you've really been able to recapture what I consider quite a classic sound, that sort of 80s sort of gothy, punky sound, and sort of brought it back now. Do you think that sounds still kind of relevant today?
I think music is recyclable. I've always said that.
Like fashion.
Fashion, music, everything is recyclable. We've been around a long time, man. Been around the scene a long time. We're great believers in good music. That does stand the test of time. It does stand, and it will echo through the musical corridors forever. If it's good music, it's good music.
Yeah. So why don't you tell us, when you said you've been around for a long time, when did The Transmission form?
Well, we've been friends for years, me and the other lads in the band. It's a funny thing, we've always jammed in each other's bands. Never really took it seriously. We've always jammed in each other's bands. We've moved around, mixed around, etc., etc. But about sort of 7 years ago now, a good friend of mine, and I hope it's okay to mention, Woody, he kind of pulled it all together. And look, we've got some old demos there. I think we should revamp them and put them out there.
Yeah.
But sadly, Woody was taken from us. He got cancer, and he died.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah. So there's a little bit of tragedy involved with us, and it's. But it spurred us on, and we said, look, let's carry on. Let's keep this going, in his memory, type of thing.
Yeah.
So we're trying to keep his memory alive within the music and what we're doing now.
Absolutely, yeah. So you've just released the first album, as you mentioned, Coma.
Yeah.
Have you had much sort of success commercially with it so far? Oh, lovely! As we can see, there it is. Can we see the cover? Oh, brilliant.
Here is the culprit. The culprit, as you say. Yeah, it's available on all digital platforms: Spotify, Amazon, iTunes, etc., etc. Rock Avenue Records, who we are currently signed to from Los Angeles, have managed to get this uploaded onto the Sony Orchard distribution platform.
Okay.
So that's quite a bit that's quite a bit of kudos for us. So we're hoping now to see some traction. But as you're aware, and as everybody's aware, suddenly this virus has come along and changed everything. So we're struggling at the moment, if I'm honest. We were planning to do some festivals this year and some gigs, and we were gonna sell our hats, CDs, and T-shirts, etc. At the festivals and the gigs that we had booked in. But everything got cancelled.
Which ones did you have it in the diary?
I can't remember off the top of my head now, but we had a few penciled in. But we were supposed to confirm them, but they all ended up getting cancelled, etc. So we took to Twitter, which is the one we're finding is the biggest platform to help us get our music out there. So we're basically now, we're selling our merchandise via Twitter. So if anyone's on Twitter, come follow us on Twitter, and you can order a pack, and it will be sent to the post in due course.
And how do they find you on Twitter? Is it just V Transmission?
It's V Transmission UK. Twitter.com V Transmission UK.
Okay. Now, speaking of V Transmission as a name, how did that come about?
Well, V Transmission originally started off as virtual transmission.
Okay.
And we kicked it around for a while, but it never really took off as a title, virtual transmission, and we couldn't get it to work as a logo. And then suddenly, I think it was Mick, our drummer, he said, "Why don't we shorten the virtual to just V, and then we can get it on a logo like this?"
Yeah, I like it. That's cool.
Yeah, and suddenly it made sense.
Yes, it all came together.
And it all just clicked, instantly from that. It all just clicked. So we shortened the virtual to V, and then we had that then as a logo, and that then became the name Virtual Transmission, to shorten down to the V Transmission.
Right. Now something I spotted on your Facebook page that you'd written: V Transmission tried to recapture the excitement and energy of what is currently missing with some of the more established artists. So would you like to talk us through that? Sort of, what do you do in order that the other artists aren't doing, basically?
I just think that some of the bands these days, they seem to be lacking a certain stage presence. There's no stage presence for some of these bands. When I went,
you mean the newer bands?
Some of the newer bands, yeah. It's gonna be, if I can be honest, maybe this is me being a bit cynical, but I think music's gone a bit stale. I think it's gone a bit sanitized, and I think it's gone a bit stale, and it needs a bit of a kick. It needs a bit of a kick up the backside, Do you mean
in general, or just specifically the sort of rock genre?
Generally, yeah. Generally, there doesn't seem to be. I'm always listening for new bands, new music, but there's nothing really that's grabbing my attention at the moment. Very very few and far between. There's a lot of these. I know I'm going to get stoned at the altar for saying this, but I'll say it anyway. There's a lot of these kind of solo hippie style artists, with a little acoustic guitar doing the stuff and all that, and that's great. That's great for them. But there's an age group, there's a certain age group around our generation that are crying out for some old school music, and there's no one doing it.
And do you find that your style of music attracts a younger audience as well, or is it mainly people? We've got
fans from 14 up to 60 plus, which has been amazing. We've had some incredible feedback. We've been a few well-known people. Again, I won't name drop, but a few well-known people have mentioned us as we're a musicians band as well.
Yeah, feel free to name drop if you like. Say what you like.
I've not had their permission to do that, and so I'll keep them quiet.
So you've been talking about how you've been in the music industry for a long time. How do you see it's changed over the years, and is it for the better or for the worse?
It's gone worse for me. Obviously, since the advent of the digital platforms, it's not made it easy for bands now to survive. The press, the
you mean like fewer people are buying the physical copies of CDs?
Yeah. It's difficult. Bands get very little revenue now from streaming.
Yeah.
They get very little revenue from streaming, etc. And the power is with the big multi-corporate digital platform organisations, etc. They do kind of rule the roost, and it's not easy. It's not easy for new bands to sort of get that recognition, get that help that they need. That lift up to the next level, the next platform. Yeah. Which I think which has seen the rise. There's more and more festivals now to compensate. So, and I think that's where you can make your mark in the festivals and stuff like that. Really,
that's it. I mean, festivals have become a huge thing now, haven't they?
Huge business.
There's so many of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
But years ago, there were just, just a handful I could have named that
Handful of
people have
festivals.
heard of. Now they're just popping up
Yeah.
all over the place, which is
Yeah.
great. But
Every town in the country's got its own festival.
yeah, pretty
Which is
much
good,
so.
which is great because that is giving a platform for the new bands, that are any good to get on there and
Yeah,
get heard, and grow their fan base via that medium.
that's it. Well, what have you got planned then for next year? Because we're kind of writing off this year a bit, I think. So, 2021, how will
Yeah,
that look for you?
yeah, it's the same for us. We're still in lockdown. We've not been able to do a great deal, but we're still writing. I'm still kind of sending stuff between myself and John, my guitarist, etc. And we're keeping in touch via the social media, etc. So we've got new songs to release. We're looking to put out an EP. I think round about the end of October, November,
Okay.
new 4-track EP, and then followed up by a new album in January 2021, and hopefully then we'll
So
get
it's
back
full
on.
steam ahead, really.
It will be full steam ahead for next year, yeah, and we're just increasing our Twitter numbers, Instagram numbers, etc., etc. So for next year.
Yeah. And what will the new EP be called? Do you have a working name for it yet?
Yeah, at the moment we've got a couple of titles, but I think it's going to be something like maybe Mono Europe or something of that nature. It's a retro, yeah, it's going to be it's going to have a retro feel to it.
Right.
A little bit more industrial sounding, heavier industrial sounding. Something a little bit.
There is a tinge of that industrial sound to your debut album as well. I kind of listened to it, I could hear a little bit Nine Inch Nails here and then, Yeah, and I love that sound. That's right up my street. So I'm definitely going to be looking out for your new EP.
Thank you very much.
And urge everyone to have a listen to your current record. It's brilliant.
Yeah, at the moment the standout song on the CD is track 9. If anyone's got it, track 9, which is No More Lights, which perversely ironic is exactly where we are now. Yeah. I wrote No More Lights nearly 3 years ago, and it's about the way that we're burning up the planet and the resources on it, and the way that we're abusing everything. And if we're not careful, there will be no more lights.
Yep, very true, very, very true. I do like a song with a moral.
Yeah, song with a story.
That's it. Well, it's been a real pleasure chatting to you, and I do hope to see you when you're on the road. I'm hoping you'll be playing locally, obviously being in Manchester. It'd be great to see you in one of our great local venues.
Yeah, as soon as we get the green light and the venues all start to open up again, and we can get some of the crowds back in, we'll be hoping to be out playing, etc. And doing what we do. Yeah.
Well, it's been great chatting to you.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure, and thank you so much. And if you want to follow us, you know where you can find us. We're on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, etc. Hope to see everybody there.
Okay, see you soon. Love to all.
Thank you. Bye bye.
This is rock and roll. Burning out to my